Hello, hello. It is Monday, February 27th, and you might notice that this video is not actually live. I'm sorry. So I had an opportunity to go and speak with some lawmakers at the Capitol today on behalf of some children who go to school in Texas. So I'm doing that to speak up for public education. So I could not record live today, but that's okay. I went ahead and made this video for you, and then we can all discuss it after I get back. So I won't be gone long. In fact, I'm probably on my way back right now. But anywho, we're gonna paint grapes today, and we're gonna have a great time. And even though I'm not live right now, you can still put questions in the comment section. You can put your jokes in the comment section. And most importantly, say hi in the comment section. And actually, well, that's only the second most important. The most important thing is be kind to yourself. We are doing this class for fun. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna practice some of our skills, but mostly we're going to relax and enjoy the creation of art, and we're not going to be perfectionists. We are going to be kind to ourselves. So if you agree to be kind to yourself, please give me a heart or thumbs up on this video. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. We're going to be kind to ourselves, and we're going to avoid all negative self-talk. We're only going to say happy things. Okay, so please agree to that. In your heart of hearts, I'm trusting you. Give me a heart or a thumbs up, and I believe you. I believe you. Okay. So today we're gonna paint a bunch of grapes, and we're gonna use some weird colors, and you're not going to believe that it's gonna work, but it will, I promise. So first thing you need is a piece of paper. I have some watercolor paper, and because I'm using watercolor paper, I'm gonna paint bumpy side up. What if you don't have watercolor paper? That's okay, friend. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to have any. And you can use paints, or you can use markers, or you can use crayons, whatever you want. It's gonna be great, no matter what. So let's look at our shapes so we can plan this, this little bit of art out. These grapes are all circles. We can do that. And they are left in a, thank you. They're left in the shape of a triangle, which is awesome. And sorry, my daughter was just handing me some lovely jokes to tell y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and give you these jokes so my kid can have her phone back. Ready, you guys? Why don't farmers grow grapes? Because they're raising them. And let's see. Wait, I don't get that one. Oh, I can't tell you why I like grapes, but I have my raisins. Those are fantastic. Thank you. If y'all have your grape jokes, please feel free to put them in the comments at any point. Okay, so we have our grapes and they are circles, and then we have our bunch of grapes, which is mostly a big old triangle going down our paper. So we're gonna have our paper facing upside, right? Okay, so this would be horizontal, this is vertical. We're gonna have our paper vertical. My paper is cut to a 4x6, which is a standard postcard size. So if you wanna send this as a postcard to anybody, be my guest. All right, so I'm going to make a little line coming down almost the center of the page. It's gonna be wobbly. It's kind of going to go back and forth, Doesn't matter exactly how you do it, but it's kind of wavy, right? I left myself about a thumbprint at the top, probably like 2 thumbprints at the bottom. And now I just want you very, very lightly to sketch out a triangle that takes up most of your page, okay? So you're going to come all the way down to the bottom, flat part of the triangle is up top. I want this to be a very, very light line so it doesn't interfere with your grapes. You should be able to see mine. Mine is going to be darker than yours. And this is just to give you an idea of where you want to lay out your grapes, okay? So now we have our basic shape, and we're gonna put in little circles. Now, what if your circles are not perfect? You guys, it's fine. Nothing has to be perfect here. If you are real worried about getting, well, not worried, but if you are concerned that you're not being able to make the shapes you want, just find something round, like a dime. I'm just gonna put one big old circle here. Okay, and that can be one. Now, your grapes, in real life, they're never all the same size, right? So just make some big, some small, and we're just gonna kind of fill up this triangle with grapes. And we're just gonna put little circles. Sometimes our circles will overlap. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes it'll be like little Mr. Grape hanging out all here by himself. Boop. And we're just gonna fill in with circles. Make sure to give yourself like one tiny one at least. I always love to grab those little tiny baby grapes because they're so cute. And then I pop them in my mouth and I'm always disappointed every single time. You'd think that I would learn that those little tiny ones are super bitter, but I don't. I've never learned. They're just so cute. So just keep going, filling in some circles. And when you feel like you have enough circles to, you know, it doesn't have to be completely filled. Just do a bunch. No pun intended, except pun intended. When you feel like you have enough grapes, and again, they don't have to fill up the whole triangle, just, you know, put in enough to make you happy. Then I want you to go ahead and get your eraser. I'm using my lovely little kneaded eraser. And get rid of that triangle outline. You don't need it anymore, okay? Oops, little kitty cat hairs. Right before I started filming this, one of the kittens jumped up and was pawing the page. Okay, still have that. Okay, so I have my little line going down the center. We are gonna use that kind of as a guide for putting in the vines for the grape. But you only need that showing where your grapes are not. Okay, that's it. That's plenty. It's not completely full, but also you can look over here, that's not completely full either. Okay, so we're going to use a few different colors. We're gonna use purple, we're gonna use pink, and we're actually gonna be using blue as well. And then of course we'll use a little bit of green for our leaves. Okay, so here's our fun part. You can do this one of two ways. You can fill in your circle one at a time and then drop your paint in there and let it do its thing. Okay, that's one way. I always like to leave one little empty spot so that I can see which way the light is hitting these grapes. So I've decided on this one that my light was coming from this direction. So on my grapes, this side, which for me is my right side, is gonna have a little white space, which is where the light would be reflecting off the grape. So that's one way to do it. You can put in water first. Other way to do it, you can just put your paint in first and fill it in that way. And as I'm filling in, I'm using rounded strokes, just like my grapes would be. You can see even better how I'm leaving that little white space. There's not a particular size it needs to be, but you do kind of want to have it like rounded a little bit because your grape is round, right? So I'm going to use rounded strokes and I'm just going to fill in my grapes. Hello, kitty cat. Sometimes when I'm talking to y'all, the cats assume, since there's no one else in the room, that I'm talking to them. I am not. But that's okay. It's very cute of them. So I'm going to fill in some of these purple. And I bet that I'm going too fast for y'all because I have done this project before and I know where it's going. And that's okay, because remember, since this one's not live, y'all can hit pause or rewind whenever you need to. Yeah. Make sure to breathe. Because sometimes I've noticed, particularly like when I'm doing like one little circle, I notice I'm holding my breath until I get to the end. I just did it again. I hope that you guys are breathing. Now, some of yours are gonna be a little lopsided, and that's fine because grapes in real life are lopsided. Oh, look what I did. I'm using pink now. So I'm just gonna make some of them pink. And that looks really weird at first. You will think, Amy, there is no such thing. I think there are actually, well, there's grapes that are called cotton candy grapes, and some people think they're delicious, and some people do not. I gotta tell y'all, I'm of the do not. They are not pink grapes, although I feel like they should be, since they're called cotton candy grapes. Anywho, apparently they taste like cotton candy, but to me, not great. I do like cotton candy, although I think I like the idea of cotton candy much more than I actually like cotton candy. How about you? Do y'all like it? I love the way it looks. Like, it's so fun, and I love watching the sugar get spun. It's just very festive. When we were in New Orleans recently, this one restaurant served these gigantic, we saw 2 different people doing it, gigantic birthday cakes, huge, and the whole thing was cotton candy. They were gigantic cakes, all made out of cotton candy. And then they would sing happy birthday, and there was like one giant candle sticking out of the top, this really long, tall candle. And then when the person blew out the candle, then they would lift off the cotton candy, because it was actually like in a big sphere around a little tiny cupcake. It was really cute. I loved it. That was so clever. Okay, so here's another thing we're gonna do. Some of these grapes, I want them to be darker. So I'm gonna grab, let me show you. I'm gonna grab a little bit of blue. I've rinsed off my brush. Always rinse off in between your colors, okay? And I'm just gonna add some blue in here. And at first you're gonna think, Amy, that's insanity. That doesn't look like a grape now. It looks like a big old blue blob. But now I'm gonna grab a little more purple. I'm gonna drop it on there, and y'all, it is going to be mucho, mucho dark. Look at that. I'm just blending that purple in on top of the blue. And it made it a much darker purple. Let's do that down here. We're gonna do this little one down here, right? Well, he's not little, he's just smaller than that big giant one. Okay, so I'm adding a little purple. And then I rinse my brush. I get the extra water off my brush, and then I drop in a little bit of blue. And you'll notice I'm doing it on the side where the light is not hitting. So if my light is coming this way, the darkest side is gonna be this side. So I put my purple, my blue on that side so that it's even darker. See that? Kind of cool. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. And if you think some of these pinks are too pink, boop, grab a little bit of purple. And just mix it in. Boop, boop, boop. And now it's like a purpley pink. Pretty cool, eh? I love mixing colors. I love it. All right, this one looks a little wobbly to me. So I'm just gonna grab some extra purple. Fill him in a little bit. Okay. And we're just gonna keep going this way. We're just gonna fill in our little grapes. And maybe some of the grapes are gonna be super light. And the reason they're gonna be super light is because they're further away from us. So I'm just gonna keep painting until I can make it really light. So I still just have like a little bit of purple on my brush, but I'm not dipping back into my palette. I'm just pulling some purple off of these, and I'm coming in and putting in some lighter ones. And when we have the same color, but it's lighter, it makes it look further away. And that's kind of cool. So I'm just filling in. Now, if I accidentally touch, see how I just touched right there? Some of that other purple is gonna bleed in. That's fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. And I'm just gonna keep going until I have filled in. See how I just grabbed some purple from that bottom grape? I'm just gonna keep filling in until I have them all full. Yeah. Okay, now probably you're still working on it, so keep going. And I'm gonna show you, I'm just gonna come in the middle here, and I'm gonna fill in some of where the stems are coming. So top stem, right there, I'm gonna try not to touch my grapes, right? So I don't have my colors bleed. And then I could probably see a little stem here in this big empty space. And remember, you're traveling down, right? I'm making a very thin line, and I'm doing that because I made sure my brush had a nice point. And I'm just barely touching that page. And I have my brush pointed as much up and down, straight up and down as I can, not sideways, because then I'll get a thick line. Just thin, thin, thin. And I just want to make sure that my grapes look like they are attached. So I'm just going to put in a few lines here and there. Okay, what else? This guy is floating all by himself. So I probably need to add a little background grape. Get a little background grape. There we go. Little circle, little circle, but very light, right? Look at that. Okay. Now we're going to do our leaf shape. We have done a leaf shape several times. Remember, it's a curvy line, and another curvy line, and we're making it almost like an oval that gets pinched at the ends. So one curvy line this way, another curvy line that way. Grape leaves, we're gonna do some little lines coming off the edge. Boop. Because they are sort of jagged leaves, they're not hurty at all, but they are they've got a little bit of pointy. Okay, and just fill that in. We're gonna come back and do some more detail on it. And you can do another one if you want. Let's see, I'm just gonna do like a little bud. So he's gonna have a little leaf bud. He's thinking about being a big leaf, but he's not there yet. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my green, I'm gonna come back over, and what I wanna do, see how I left a little line in the center there so that line is lighter? I'm just gonna come back in here and I'm gonna fill in everywhere except, I'm gonna put like another layer of green except right down the middle. So there's the top, adding just some more green, and there's the bottom. And I left a little light space in the middle of my leaf. Boop. And then I'm gonna sign my name, and I would like you to sign your name because you made art when you're all done, okay? Most important, grapevines have the best thing. They have a little curly Q. How did I do that? I just took a line and went woo, boop, like around and around and out. You can do coming all the way up if you want. So, well, I probably need a third one. You're right. We'll do one more little curly Q. Bloop. Okay. When you are all finished, please take a picture. Put it in the comments so that I can see what you have created. If you are not comfortable putting it in the comments, that's fine. would you please take a picture and then send it to me through a direct message? That would be awesome. And what else? Please also, you can either put it in the comments or you can send me a direct message if there's other things that you want to create. Whatever you create, I want you to be proud of yourself. Whatever you create, remember that you took a little bit of time for yourself today and created something very beautiful inside your soul. It was taking a little art break, okay? Anyhow, I hope that you guys have a fantastic Monday. I will tell you all about my trip when I get back. And I will see you right back here next Monday at noon, and we're gonna make some more art. So come right back here next Monday at noon to Amy Pagan Art on Facebook and Instagram. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care. See you real soon. Bye. Oh, and thank you for joining me.